doesn't mean the rule doesn't exist.
So hard to get. When done for this purpose, it is a way for a woman to increase the value of her offer of sex to a man, he says. Or vice versa, as in the case of Alanis' boyfriend. Things that are easily achieved are often not seen to be valuable, Giles notes, adding that this can be done in a playful way as a lead up to sex and can be something that both partners enjoy.
There's some truth to that, but once again, this is before you've had sex. This is before you've had sex. You know, if you want to wait for the first time, I totally agree. It can make that first time awesome. We chose not to have sex when we first met.
Yeah.
Even though we were clicking extremely well, and I wanted to, and I think you wanted to, but we chose not to. And yeah, that first time we kind of went nuts. I ripped your clothes off and banged you right there on the floor of your apartment.
Yeah, it was on my carpet.
Yeah.
I remember it in the living room.
So there is truth to that, but so yeah, I can agree with that. I can get behind that.
It's still the same thing.
Yeah.
Madam Rebecca has a different reason for withholding sex. She controls men for a living. I work as an online, because there's like 3 different points in this article.
This is the dominatrix chick coming in.
Yeah. Okay, we just did the psychologist, so now this is the mistress.
A psychologist, a mistress, and a millennial.
All right, that's how it. I work as an online dominatrix where I possess several slaves, she says. We communicate over Skype. Each submissive has different weaknesses that we mutually enjoy exploring. Most of her submissives are middle class and white. Other than that, they are all different, mostly affluent and bored. The withholding.
I've noticed that a lot of the submissive guys that like being dominated by women, they tend to be really wealthy and well off. Lots of great things are easily available, and I still value them. Air is everywhere, but I fucking love breathing. Excellent point. Yeah, you're gonna, like I said, I don't completely agree that with the holding it off thing. We didn't hold it off that long. It was like third date.
Third or fourth.
Third or fourth, yeah. But yeah, just because something's easily available. But I think that's more your attitude, Jonathan, because most people who have things that are easily available, they don't appreciate them. And that goes back to what we've talked about several times on this podcast, is to thank your partner for every small thing that they do. You know, thank you for cleaning that, thank you for doing the dishes, thank you for, you know, it's the small things that you need to appreciate, and it's awesome that you understand that, but I think most people don't, and they take it for granted. Anyway,
they would never be able to have sex with me. That is totally out of the question. She says that her slaves yearn for servitude and deeply enjoy being withheld from sex from their female dominator. They can crave it all that they want, but it's knowing that having sex with me is totally out of their limit that creates their fantasy.
Now, only do this if this works for you. Hey, Aunt Celia, how you doing? Only do this if this is really what you do, you know.
Or or something.
Yeah, if she's really teasing you and all that, and you're not into that sort of thing, walk. You know, just don't do it. But there are a lot of people who are into this. I had a slave girl once. You remember what's her face?
I think so, yeah.
In Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Some people like the slave-master relationship and all that.
Yeah, they're all miserable, too. They spend their lives looking for happiness, and instead of enjoying the shit that they already got.
You're absolutely right. You've got to appreciate the little things.
It's kind of like, I don't know where I learned this, but like not to look at the past or look toward the future, but focus on the present.
You got to be in the moment.
You got to be just at that moment versus looking at everything that you do or don't have.
Yeah, got to live in the moment. And but what she's talking about, I think it's for a very specific type of person.
I think this is more going into the fetish era.
This is
if that's like something that the male gets off on, that's possibly why withholding for sex from him is great.
And with fetishes, yes, you're going to find several people who are into that fetish. Most people are probably not going to be into any one fetish. And also, there's so many fetishes that you could essentially make up any outlandish fetish whatsoever, and it probably exists somewhere.
It just may not have a lot of videos or something.
May not be very popular. It may even only be one person, but it exists somewhere. Anyway.
Yeah. The practice of withholding sex has been more than erotic in Madame Rebecca's experience. I personally believe in sex being something for women that should about as much pleasure. Oh my God. I personally believe in sex being something for women that should about as much pleasure.
That's what it says. That should about as much pleasure
as possible for them. I thought I just couldn't read. Okay. She says explaining that controlling male slaves has had a positive impact on her life. It's made me sexually confident because it's reinforced that sex is my decision and not just about male pleasure. That's just her cup of tea.
If that's your thing, that's your thing. Go.
I can't
knock yourself out, mistress.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, as long as you're not forcing anyone to do anything. Yeah, if these guys are cool with it and they want to do it, and you get off on it.
That was a weird sentence, man. I was
They're missing
struggling.
a word or two in there.
All right. Sexual desire is one of our most powerful desires, Giles says. That's the psychologist. Yeah, psychologist. Making the fulfillment of this desire dependent on the performance of other behaviors is therefore often an effective way of motivating the desiring person to do what one wants. However, he explains, withholding is a form of coercion.
A form. I think that's supposed to be a form of coercion.
Okay,
Proofread your shit, people.
Oh my God.
Writers.
Which, despite being effective in the short term, generally doesn't have lasting effects. People do not like being coerced, and although it might work in getting a specific behavior at a specific instance performed, its regular use will tend to destroy the relationship over time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Giles predicts an inevitable scenario. A man who is regularly coerced into doing things in order to have sex might well start disliking his partner for doing so, start employing coercion himself, and also start looking for another sexual partner who does not use sex to coerce him. That's actually a beautiful statement.
That's why I say as soon as they start using sex to manipulate you, get out. Just get out. They don't love you.
Almost done.
Okay, we're near the end.
Yeah, he says that open communication is a vastly more healthy practice to communicate one's needs and achieve mutual satisfaction in a relationship. Yes. Rebecca.
I agree.
Yeah, Madame Rebecca argues that her extreme version of withholding exists on a spectrum with the way in which more basic mainstream couples deny each other in sex in order to get what they want. What I deal with is just a heightened version of the daily power/control dynamics that we have to manage every day. Okay, Madame Rebecca explains. My slaves fantasize of dominant women.
Proofread your shit, people.
It's a role reversal of everything patriarchal society offers them.
Oh yeah, patriarchal society. Yeah, you're able to make money dominating guys and not having an actual job. Yeah, a real patriarchal society there.
Giles disagrees, reaffirming that people ultimately do not want to be coerced as he sees it. Madame Rebecca's subs want to be denied sex. In the fetishistic version, the man desires the withholding and gets erotic pleasure from it. This is a fundamentally different situation.
And he's right. This mistress bitch is crazy. She thinks that she's shifting the power. It's like, no, you're still doing what the guys want. They want that. You're still living for their pleasure. That's what women don't seem to get. you can play this game all you want and meet these fetishists and say, oh, look how powerful I am. I knew a dominatrix girl who thought this way, but at the end of the day, it's like, no, you're still living for their pleasure. What's up, Perry? How's it going?
Men have to feel like they are in control all the time. Patriarchy isn't a natural state of living. Oh my God, this one is a feminist. Madam Rebecca says, firm in her belief that her work is relative to culture at large. Through women's sexuality, we possess a huge amount of power. It's what men want constantly. Retrieving that power can give a huge sensual experience to a man.
Men are not used to being in control. Men are used to being not in control. We accepted a long time ago that we cannot control the world around us. We can only control ourselves. And that's why we do things like protect ourselves and prepare for bad situations and all that, because we know we don't have control of what's going on around us. That's what, hey! So no, this idea that men have to be in control, you're crazy. We understand that we're not in control, that we have to take precautions. Yeah, boy, but are you missing a few pages?
No, that's it.
I don't think it talked to the millennial.
No, we did. That was the Kendall Jenner situation.
Oh, this article is stupid.
I'm kind of disappointed. I thought it was actually going to be more on the title, which is, does withholding sex make your partner want you more?
It kind of hit on it.
No, it was not well written to where, this is the millennial, this is this, and this is how all their views are joined together.
Very disjointed. Very disjointed.
So, this person, Diana Toujours, needed to go back to English class to learn how to read and write English properly.
Yeah, proofread your stuff.
Proofread your stuff, because, yeah. And you use quotation marks, so you could have said the full thing because you're quoting them. You didn't have to paraphrase a quotation that came from the person. Anyway.
I swear, when we start making merchandise for our podcast, our first item is going to be a shirt that just says, this article is stupid. Because
How many times have we said
we
this?
say that almost every podcast. This was just dumb.
Well, I'm sorry, guys. It was a bad article. Well, actually, it was an okay article because we got to rip it out and get out of the way. And besides, we had oh my God, we should just stop because he's going to watch.
All right, I'm debating on whether we should start pre-reading the articles or
I
not.
think we might want to start pre-reading.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
Anyway, this has been Super Rockstar Superheroes. Thanks for those of you who joined us and commented. God damn it, Calvin. God damn it. You know what? We're done. I'm done. I'm done.